Red. United Secretary General Ravi Philemon has publicly raised concerns about the fairness of Singapore's general election 2025, accusing the ruling People's Action Party of leveraging state-linked resources, grassroots networks, and big business support to gain an electoral edge. In a Facebook post published on 10 May 2025, Philemon detailed a series of events, especially in Nee Soon GRC, that he believes created an uneven playing field for opposition parties like RDU. Philemon recounted an incident on 1 May, the final day of campaigning, where a voter in Nee Soon GRC asked him to belanja him and his friends to a meal in return for their votes. Philemon declined and explained that RDU does not engage in vote buying. However, he said similar requests for food and drinks were common throughout the campaign, reflecting what he saw as a deeper issue: voters being more responsive to material inducements than to policy platforms. Philemon argued that such expectations were fueled by various high-profile giveaways and events held before and during the campaign period. He pointed to a DBS Foundation event held prior to the issuance of the writ of election on 15 April, where groceries and essentials were distributed to 1,700 Nee Soon residents. PAPMPK Shanmugam was prominently featured at the event, creating what Philemon said was an implied link between the assistance and the ruling party. Just a day later, the People's Association launched an initiative that allowed residents to buy 20 Singapore dollars worth of groceries for just 1 Singapore dollars. The event was heavily promoted and featured all 5 Nee Soon MPs. Scheduled to run from 27 April, less than a week before polling day, it drew large crowds and significant public attention. Another example cited by Philemon was the opening of the Nee Soon Link Community Square on 21 April, 2 days before nomination day. He alleged that Shanmugam and fellow PAP MP Derek Goh were given prominent roles at the event. Philemon questioned whether the PAP had prior knowledge of election dates, enabling them to plan events that would maximize visibility just before the official campaign period began. He also highlighted a job fair on 1 May, co-organized by the PAA and the Association of Trade and Commerce, where volunteers in white and senior party figures were highly visible. Philemon contrasted this with the limited resources available to opposition parties like RDU, claiming the imbalance put alternative voices at a disadvantage. Philemon described an incident at Hatib MRT station on 24 April, where RDU volunteers were told by staff to vacate the walkway while canvassing. Yet shortly afterward, PAP candidates were seen in the same area. When questioned, the station manager claimed the PAP team was only greeting commuters and not distributing materials. Although RDU was eventually allowed back, Philemon noted the inconsistency in enforcement as indicative of broader structural bias. He also alleged that on 1 May, PAP volunteers were placing stickers featuring a not yet elected MP on shopfronts near a halal eatery, where RDU members were dining. As it was the last day of campaigning and RDU had a rally scheduled, Philemon said the team could not address the issue promptly, though he questioned the appropriateness and legality of the act. Philemon ended his post with a strong condemnation of what he called a rigged and unfair system. He claimed that large institutions, including government-affiliated bodies and corporate players, had helped tilt the electoral advantage toward the PAP. He compared the situation to that in Workers' Party-held constituencies, which he said remained competitive partly because such entities could not be used to benefit the PAP in those areas. He announced plans to file a formal complaint with the Elections Department, raising questions about whether the PAP received advance notice of election timelines and whether such knowledge influenced the timing of campaign-related events. Despite contesting in 3 group representation constituencies and 1 single-member constituency, RDU did not win any seats in GE2025. Their best performance was in Nee Soon GRC, where they garnered 26.19% of the vote. Other results included 23.34% in Jurong East Bukit Batok GRC, 20.71% in Holland Bukit Timur GRC, and 19.49% in Jurong Central SMC. Nonetheless, Philemon framed the results as a step forward for the party and vowed to continue advocating for electoral reform and fairness. He called on citizens who shared concerns about inequality and injustice to join RDU's movement, emphasizing the need for persistent effort and public solidarity. The fight is not over, he concluded, reiterating his vision of a political system rooted in dignity and accountability, not material inducements or institutional advantage.